popular term in corporate world. It is a term that describes the balance between the family life and the corporate life. Does it exist? Women today are in a dilemma of balancing both the corporate world and the family life. Some are of the opinion that women's education ends in the kitchen. Is this the truth?
Women across the globe are of the opinion that they have the right to choose their career and get to the peak. There are a lot of issues around this, and it's something that needs to be talked through.
For young single ladies, especially in their 30s, who are doing so well in their chosen careers but are experiencing delay in marriage, most times they are pressured from all around to leave that job, all in a bid to attract suitors. Do you really think that the work life balance exists?
Spot on, ladies. This is a very salient subject in our world today. And on today's episode of Time Out with the Ladies, again we have with us in the studio the delectable lady. We call her Mommy Gio. She's the wife of the General Overseer of the Foursquare Gospel Church in Nigeria. Please join me as we welcome Reverend Mrs. BC Aboyeji. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are
Bless
welcome,
you
ma.
all.
You're welcome, ma. Thank you so much, viewers at home. You'll be in for a good session today. But before we go neck deep into this discussion, stay back, grab your popcorn. I'll be back. Welcome back. Again, if you are just joining us, please sit back. We are going to be talking about work-life balance. Does it really exist? What's our opinion about this matter? As believers, what do we think of work-life balance? Do we need it? Don't we? Do women need to work, even work at home? Or they have to remain in the kitchen? What do we think? Let's discuss. Tracy.
Thank you very much, Ma. Come on, we're in the 21st century. We're crying out loud. No single lady will want to hear that today. You telling us, okay, stay in the kitchen, don't do anything, and all of that. No single lady will want to hear that. That's the truth. Although there are some exceptions, but majority of ladies want to work. Now the problem is when you're a single lady and you have to work, like the work is so demanding. You do not have time for yourself, you do not have time for relationships, you do not have time for anything. Now that is a problem. So I think that having a healthy work-life balance is very, very important so that it doesn't affect your mental health. In a country like Nigeria, I can say that people do not pay attention to mental health. As far as I'm concerned, if I walk up to my mom today or someone or an elderly person and say, probably I'm depressed, I'm sure the answer I'll get is go and take a hot cup of tea, you'll be fine after a few minutes. They may not really pay much attention to it. So I feel that all of these things affect singles, especially single ladies that are in jobs that are too demanding. So it is very, very important that there is a healthy work-life balance.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Omironke, can you speak to... She said young people don't want to hear kitchen at all, safe. So can you even speak to the subject of discussion today?
Right? Singles, it's nowadays it is well known that women's place shouldn't be in the kitchen. And it's a fact that we need to actually push forward because of the fact that we are called helpmates does not mean that the help can only be in the kitchen. We can go out there and affect the society even through our career. And looking at the topic that we are looking at today, balancing our family with our career, it is achievable. It is possible. So I will want the singles to rest their mind that their place is not in the kitchen. Yes, it is not. We can support even outside the kitchen once we are able to balance out the two sides.
Okay, mommy.
Okay. Maybe I may be having a contrary view.
I saw your eyes when you were when you were talking.
Actually, not far from what she has spoken about. But I can say kitchen plus.
Okay. So So kitchen is important.
It's important. Stomach infrastructure. If we leave it out, we are dying. So we must say stomach plus. It's not only in the kitchen. There are a lot of areas that we can, as young ladies that are yet to marry, and also the ladies that are married, and the elderly ones also, we have our, many areas that we can impact lives, and we cannot just stay inside the kitchen alone. We must go out there to impact lives. And again, we are concerning, a lot of potentials are already residing in us. We must not waste them away. And it's for the kingdom of God. Because when we talk further right now, we see how some careers are so important, even in the kingdom of God, to further the spreading of the gospel. So I wouldn't support the fact that ladies or women should be in the kitchen alone, but kitchen plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just learned a term today.
Kitchen plus. Yes.
This is so interesting. So, well, I mean, for a chef, kitchen is our office. So if kitchen is your office, please kudos to you. We're not undermining your career. Fantastic. So, but for a woman, from our past episode, we have established that every woman should find something doing. Now, how do we balance this? Okay, so I have a job, I have a career, or I have a business. I also have a family, or I'm not even married. How do I balance it? Bear in mind also that as believers, we have obligations to all do the work of God. I belong to a local assembly. Also need to work for God in that local assembly. I also need to do some charitable work. So everything is not just my 9 to 5 or my paid job. How do I balance all of this and not even burn out? How do I balance it? I mean, you've been here for a while. How have you balanced it?
One key thing in balancing the family and the career is that a woman needs to set her priorities right. We need to get it right. Set your priorities, that's very, very key. And we should not allow one to rub over the other. Work-life balance is possible and is achievable with conscious effort of the woman, because we are talking about Christian women balancing the family and the career. The second point that is key is time management. We need to be able to apportion our time rightly. We should avoid time wasters, gossip, talking around when we need to focus on some things. So my take from here is work-life balance is possible, is achievable with determination, because in the long run it has a huge benefit in our life. But when we are doing that, we need to set our priorities right, and we need to be conscious of time management.
Okay, ma. Mommy, Aboyeji, as young ladies, I know you have been there and done that. And as a young married woman, you were also in paid employment at some point. How were you able to balance it? And the youth of this generation, how can we balance it and not burn out and not let one suffer? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Work-life balance, just as we have had divine it in different ways. Just, I will say that it's a division of your time. Your career, you have some portion, your house, your family, another portion. But I want to add another one: leisure. Leisure. Because why I'm saying so that you can look at it all round. Because when Jesus Christ, it was in the book of Luke, that he was he was with the disciples, and they were walking right from morning till evening. He has to beckon on the disciples, come aside and not weary yourself because people kept on coming and going. You do not even have leisure for rest or to even eat. It's as serious as that. Jesus Christ was telling them to work. That means, you know, it's very important to balance everything, no matter the pressure upon the work. Even if you see whether you are in the market selling, and I'm selling so well, the customers are coming and you are being carried away, it's going to tell on your body at the end of the day. Then other things may suffer. So when we are talking about work-life balance, we need to sit down, just like mommy Runke spoke. We need to sit down, organize ourselves. Time management. But I want to add two other things that we need to look at critically. We need to look at the area of, there are some people, they cannot just share the work. They are perfectionists. They are the only one that knows how to do it very well. Even in their office, if they are boss, they want to do everything by themselves. Even at home, even when they have house help, they will still do everything by themselves. They are perfectionists. So such people needs to begin to reason well. They are the one giving themselves that pressure. It's not anybody. Then another one that we need to look out in order to balance it. You cannot do everything by yourself. You need help. We must talk about it. You can't do everything. Even if you are a total housewife, you can start the work from morning till evening and you will not rest, you will not sleep, you will still find something to do. So you need help. So we need, one thing I just want to let us know concerning that is very important to balance it, because at the end of the day, it will tell upon the woman. Though, the way we are wired as well, we feel we can't get tired. Some people will work and work as ladies. When they come back, they will work. They still continue to work and continue until, some even will collapse at the end of it. So what I want us to is time management and arrangement of how to put one priorities. She said something about that. Put things. Put your try to arrange your time and fix things the way they're supposed to be fixed, and use helpers where necessary so that you can be able to manage everything well.
All right, mommy, but in a situation whereby you're a single lady and the job is too demanding, right? So I beg to disagree on the fact that yes, we can of course be disciplined and all of that, but you have a boss who is overly demanding. He wants you to do this. You must leave the office at exactly 11 p.m. or even 12 p.m. sometimes. You must finish the work on ground. There are some bosses like that, and you need a job. The pay is good. It's your career and you love what you do. And as a single lady, come on, you're not thinking about a relationship yet and all of that. So how exactly does she go about that?
What we are saying still is the fact that you are not wood. You are not iron. This is flesh and blood. If you are a Christian lady, I think you need to start praying about it. If you have a difficult boss, not that you are lazy, but it's just that a lot of things are on you that you need to do. After some times, it will be telling on your health. So we need to consider it very, very well. There is something, you must do something about it, because you can't continue like that. It may even bring a negative effect to some the working organ and system of your body. Without now, you are intending to marry in the nearest future, but something is already happening and you think the pay is coming the way it's supposed to come. The stress is there. Everything is not the way it's supposed to be. So you need to pray about it. Those people that are in that particular having that particular issue, you need to pray about it and ask God for help. I think that you should just pay attention to it. It's not a normal case. We shouldn't take it as normal. Okay, I can. Things should continue like this. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not a normal case.
Okay, ma, you have touched on a lot of things. And the Bible says that we should walk while it is day, because the night cometh when no man can walk. So this scripture a lot of times rings in my head. So whatever I can do when I'm still young, I still have the power. Let me do. Let me do. Let me do. But I don't look at other parts of my life. What are the ill effects that will happen to other parts of my life? How would they suffer? Also that, okay, so I need to work. You have said I should not be lazy. I know that I should work while it is day. Man, I'm still young. So what will suffer? I'm supposed to work. We should not be lazy. Okay.
Yes, you are supposed to work. Definitely you need to work because you are not to be lazy. But you have to apply wisdom. Because as our mommy rightly said, we are flesh and blood. At a point, your body will be calling for attention. Your own body will call for attention. So we need to be conscious of how we use this body. If we look at family that is being neglected at the expense of the career, if the career should end today, where do we go back to? We go back to our family. Or if you don't have a good relationship with them, how are you going to cope? So it is logical and advisable that we should ensure that consciously we build into work-life balance.
So what you're trying to say is that if we don't balance it, things will suffer, like the family.
The family will suffer, your health will suffer, even the society, because on the long run, when you look at it in a broader picture, you will see that all the things that we have in the society are the product of the family. And something went wrong because somebody was not where she's supposed to be.
But mommy said we can make do with support system.
Yes, you can. Having a support and help does not mean that you have jettisoned your assignments. That person is an help.
My mother is there. My mother-in-law can be there.
Yes, is an help. But your role, your responsibilities cannot be totally taken away from you. Because each and every one of us, we have roles and responsibilities in our family.
And to add to that, the first responsibility of a woman is home. It's your ministry, the first ministry. When you look,
Can you hear that?
that's the first ministry, and you must add it to all other one that you have. Why am I saying so? God created Adam, a man, and when he wanted to create the woman, the only difference between the man and the woman is the womb. Put a womb and said womb man. Womb man. Womb of compassion. You are carrying the home. Even to the working place, you carry the home. I want to tell you that that's why we need to just know that one as a lady, as a Christian lady. If you are going to marry, my home, you must jealously guide your home very, very well and carry your home everywhere. Should be in your home. I remember one time we were in Warri, and I happened to travel to Lagos to come and do something. And I told my husband, please help me pick my girl in the school by 4 o'clock. She said, no problem. I will pick her. I will remember. Anyway, I will go and pick her. So I just rest on that. That's little assignment for him to do. But lo and behold, I received a call in Lagos that your girl, by 5:30, she's still in school. Oh, it looks as if I should be beside him. But, he always preach. He say when there is problem, let's find solution to it before we find the person that is at fault.
Yes.
So when there is anything, look for the fire extinguisher and quench the fire first. I say, okay, let me imbibe with that. When I was called, so I decided to find a way of calling one of my friends to go and pick my daughter from the school. By the time I will call him, he say, hey, I've forgotten. Hey, it was work as I was about to start. Like, but I know, even if it is work, where I was in Lagos, I was working.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that it becomes my problem to sort out that particular issue to him. But since then, I don't give him that kind of an assignment to do any longer, because I know when it's buried in his work, it's gone. So it's not that I'm saying it's a good virtue for the men, but that is the way they are wired. They can only think about only one thing at a time. Or no, not one thing. They think of so many things, but when they focus on something, but myself, you are in the office, you are thinking of did I even really give an enough pack for that baby to have for lunch? You are still doing work, the same work that your men counterparts they are doing. So you are still thinking about home, thinking about mother-in-law, thinking about sisters-in-law, thinking about the whole family, and about the man himself that will not think about himself. So that's why I arrive at saying that we are your home first, and that is the way it is. So we should marry and ask for God's help, but that does not deny the fact that we must balance it and not carry everything on our head and die before our time. And those children that we are fighting for, we won't be there for them. God forbid.
Man, please, how about some of the single ladies that see a work-life balance? They don't really follow that rule because they see it as a form of distracting themselves from the problems at home. Most times, it's what they see their parents do, they follow. You have parents who are not available, you have parents who are never there, parents who did not take care of you. Most times they are in Abuja, tomorrow Lagos, and all of that. And they see it as a normal thing. And as singles, they grow up and they're like, okay, this is a normal lifestyle. So they see work as pleasurable. And so they can work around the clock and all of that. So
it's becoming a generational problem. And whether we like it or not, we are facing it now. It's what we are facing now. Children that are not impacted. Maybe by the grace of God, some of them will become born again. They will be around circles that are discussing this kind of a thing. They learn a little, they grab a little, and they go home to use it. But some will not even have this kind of opportunity. They won't watch it at all. They just follow what you have narrated. But that is not the way it's supposed to be. Why are we having different kind of children that are on their own, right from baby, right? I can even say right from conception. No impact of the father, no impact of the of the parent. They are on their own all the way. What do you think they will become? They are children that have no compassion at all, and that is why you see all the things that are you know things youths that are all what they are doing. They don't have compassion. They can kill another person and use for ritual. They don't know compassion, nothing. No, they didn't have any empathy. Thank you, empathy concerning anybody. They are on their own right from the beginning to the end. Only money is what made them to be what they maybe to go through the university, do some other, and money is not everything. That is why the fact that parents and young ladies that are about to marry, I'm trying to encourage them to think about it and to have it in their brain that home first. I must have attention. I must have time for my home and for my children to impact them, because they are the next generation coming after us, so that what the evil and some things that we are seeing in the society will be limited.
Okay, thank you very much. We've been talking about work-life balance, and does it exist? We have established that it exists and is what everybody should embrace. Now we have also discussed on the problems that can come up when we don't observe work-life balance. We're going on a commercial break now, and when we come back, we will look at the merits of observing work-life balance. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And if you're just joining us, we're discussing work-life balance and does it exist. In our world today, we have established that it should exist, and if it doesn't exist, we need to make it happen. Now, what are the things that we need to do to observe this work-life balance? Okay, should I close early and just come back home and sit and be looking? What are the things that I need to do to make sure that I'm observing this work-life balance, that I balance both?
Yeah.
Yes, Mommy Ronke, I'm straight to this.
Yes, the work-life balance is key and is important. We don't have to really overemphasize it. How do you do it? I said earlier that we need to be conscious about it because at times one may be carried away with work. The first thing is never carry work home. Once you finish work in your office, carry your bag. I have done it. I switch off immediately. I step out of that office. That's the end of the day until tomorrow morning. So that may not be applicable to many people, but it's something that one can strive to achieve because that will really help you to focus on your family at home. Mind you, when you finish work in the office, you are still going to resume at home because you will see the children, you will see the food and other things. So it's better for sanity to switch off. The other way that we can look at, mommy talk about leisure. It is very, very important. What I try to do is to try and take my vacation when the children will be on holidays and the same thing apply to my husband so that at least the family can bond. You have time together, you play together. Even if you are not going to go anywhere, you are together. And that really help the bonding. So it's something that one need to consciously do. Another thing that I try to do is at the beginning of the year, we normally have our vacation plan. So what I do is to pick all my children's birthdays. I take a day, add it to my vacation. That day, I won't go anywhere. I started that about 2-3 years ago. I just be with them, try to make them feel fine. So all those things, what I do may not be easy for somebody else, but it can be a tip on how to look inwards and look at the type of job you do and how you can key in the work-life balance. And the benefit is very, very enormous. You see your health, you see people that you'll be looking forward to going back home because you know that they are all there waiting to receive you. The bonding, even the spiritual side of it, because the family altar will be, you will have time for it, you will study together. All those things have another effect on the society, the type of children that we are raising, to have impact in the life of the society. So
Okay, thank you, Mommy Ronke. Miaboyeji, please, do you want to lend your voice to what she's saying?
Yes. What I just want to add to all the things that she has said is the fact that no matter the pressure, we need to have time for ourselves in the home. No matter the pressure from the place of work, we just need to create the time. Because if children are in the home, somebody must see them through. And children, at the age of maybe, let's say from 1 to 4, they become teenagers and they are going into the boarding house. That's the formative of their character. The kind of character they want to meet attitude, behaviors. And most of the time now, they don't see it from the parent, they see it from the television or the jargons that are there. The so-called helpers will not tell them to put it off. They will watch everything and they will begin to learn bad things. That is why once in a while, it's not every time, it's not that we said sit down at home, but the little time that you have, let these children be able to ask questions, get feedback from the children. Today, what happened? That is the essence of coming back from the place of work. They will tell you both the bad and the good. But in a situation wherein before you wake up, they are still on, before you leave home, they're still in their bed. By the time you come back, they're already in bed again. You are not interacting with them. What they are learning, who is teaching them? But we are chasing money. Money is not everything. What you may not be able to achieve, who tells you that these children will not achieve such things for you? So, and then again, the way I see it is that we must see our career, our home, and every other thing as a ministry. I kept on emphasizing that as a ministry.
What do you mean by that, ma'am?
That's mean they must have God impact. It's a ministry. And when you are married, your marriage is a ministry. You have come to accomplish some things in that home. If you are a minister, you have a goal, you have a vision for anything that you are doing. Even in the church, you have. Even all these things that we are talking about is not exempting the ministers. Lady ministers, of course. They are lady ministers, they are having their work, their job, and also a wife in the family, and they will still be responsible for one ministry or the other that they're supposed to carry on their head. How will they be able to adjust and make up? So that's what I'm saying. When you are asking me, what do you mean by that's me? Everything, will I say, everything that is concerning your life, let it be directed by God. Let it be directed by God. And another thing is that, especially for those that are raising small children, that are raising children from, let me say, age 0 from conception, even to that teenager's age, they have a lot to do in order to know what their children are doing, to get feedback from the children. That is how they can impact positively upon these children. They will be useful for their to their generation. Because by the time they are entering into teenage age, they are already in boarding school.
Yeah.
What you put inside them during that time is what they will use over there. They can go there and begin to have a lot of other version of everything that you have taught, but they will know they have been taught. It's very, very important. I remember my daughter, let me give an example of my daughter in the school. I've already taught her. I told her some things concerning lesbianism, because I know they are rampant in girls' school. I went to girls' school. So, and homosexual and many other things like that. And I told her, I said, you are a girl. As you are going into the boarding school, some girls may want to be sleeping with you. And they will say they are bunk. I don't know how they say sleeping with you on the same day. They are. But be careful. Don't allow any girl to come and sleep with you on your bed. Sleep alone on your bed, no matter. They say, I'm afraid. I want to come and stay with you. And it happened, indeed. So what happened was this. As she was in the school, this girl kept on coming and said, I want to just sleep with you on the bed. She remembered what I have told her. And many a time, the way the girl was behaving to her was, was one kind and one kind. So she went and she reported to the matron, and the matron took it up. Before they knew that the same girl has been doing it for many other girls, and they came out. So in fact, what the girl was aiming to do was to begin to practice lesbianism with her. But because they have discussed it in the home, and I've told her this is this. She knew what to do. She went to, and they said she should write all the things she wrote. She wrote it in 2 pieces of paper so that I can have one, and she submitted one. So most of the time there are a lot of things going on, and you find out that if the girl has been successful to initiate her into that particular, how will I be able to bring her back?
Okay, ma.
So,
So you're talking about your daughter.
Mhm.
So there are lots of schools uh, around now, and a lot of us mothers who are career mothers have said that okay, we'll send our Christians to faith-based school so that they take up the teaching that we couldn't do. So how is that not also part of helping the support system that you talked about?
it's part of it. But one thing is that there are foundational issues that you need to resolve by yourself as parents in the home. You need to teach some fundamental things. And nobody else can, the children will be able to assimilate it better if you are the one telling them. They will ask their questions and you will be able to answer their questions. So when they get to the faith-based school, it will help them further. Because there are bad eggs everywhere. So they will not fall into that trap.
Okay, you want to lend your voice to that?
In addition to what she said about and your reaction that is why you send them to faith-based school so that they can teach them, the fact still remains that you are the parent. This issue need to be tackled from the 2 sides. You cannot release your responsibility and say do it for me. No, the first point of call for any child is the parent. Right from home, the foundation must be built.
All right. So sorry, mommy. We've been talking about work-life balance that affects singles and also work-life balance that affects married women. But mommy, I want to ask a very sincere question. We know that not all single women will get married. So we've agreed about that. Okay. So now, knowing that they're not going to get married, they don't really have responsibilities and all of that. So are we saying it's okay for them to work? And not forgetting the fact that some of them work in non-governmental organizations, some of them are activists, and they are doing good stuff, although it is time consuming and there's really no balance. But they're not getting married, they're not going to have kids, but they are
think
just
that's fine.
it's okay for them to.
And if that particular kind of life will not affect their health, what of their health? Stress. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even if you say, okay, husband is out of it, the stress of husband is out of it, the stress of children is out of it, in-laws, and then, okay, I will live for myself. And you begin to work from morning till night.
No, mommy, they're not living for themselves. Now they're probably in non-governmental organizations doing good stuff, helping children out there, but it's time consuming.
That's what, okay, maybe, okay, thank you for correcting that. They are not living for themselves, they are living for others.
They're doing
But
good
that
works.
they are doing good work. But that does not mean you should kill yourself on the job. You need rest. You need to take out time to rest, so that you can do it the more. You have heard of some people, they will just sleep on their bed and they are gone. They didn't wake up the next morning. What is it? Stress.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, viewers at home. We've had amazing session today. So let's quickly go on the commercial break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the session. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we're having an amazing time on Time Out with the Ladies. Right now, we're about to round up this session. So, mommies and my sister Tracy, I want us to give parting words to our sisters who are watching us today. For the woman who lives in Lagos, who leaves her house at 5:30 and comes back at 10, I want to give a word to her. Or the women in the rural areas who still work so hard to support their homes. I want to give a word to them on work-life balance. Mirunke, let's start with you.
Yeah, work-life balance is key to our single ladies. Even if you feel you don't have responsibility to anybody, you still have it to yourself. Your health is important. To our mommies, married women, your health is important too, and your family really need you, because that is where you will fall back to after your work. And it is good for us to consciously make it work, because it is possible. Consciously let adopt work-life balance, because the advantages is very much to our health, to our community, to our family, to our spiritual life. So please, my advice is, let's look inward, let's look at what we are doing, and let's make it work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mirunke. Tracy, to your fellow sisters, a word for them.
Yes, so to all singles out there, Mommy Ronke has said it all. Try as much as possible not to overwork yourself. You should know when to rest. Be intentional about it, because your health is at stake and your mental health is at stake. Every other thing is at stake. So you have to rest. You should know when to, have leisure. It's very, very important. And also have time for the things of God. Your fellowship must not be lacking because you're trying to work and be, a workaholic. At the end of the day, all of that will be a waste without God. So as singles, please know when to rest. God help you.
Final note.
What I will want to say to the audience that are listening to us, we know they have learned a lot from this discussion, but all the same, let's ask for the help of God. Let's ask for the help of God, so that God can help us. We know we may be at dilemma concerning some things, and we say, I don't know how to make it to work, but with God's help, the Lord will sort out everything for you. And He will send help. Where you need help in the home, where you need help at the place of work, and where you need help for yourself, the Lord will send the help. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thanks so much. Everybody, our viewers at home, I'm sure you've had an amazing time with us today. Please, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have any feedback for us, or if you have very hot topic you want us to discuss on this show, Mommy Gio is here for us. And please send your comments in. We'll be glad to have them. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. See you at the next episode. My name is Faith.
My name is Tracy Azingbe.
My name is Aderonke Morua.
I'm BC Aboyechi.
Thank you, and see you at the next episode.